Hello everyone and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. I had a false start because I accidentally had my VPN active again. I hate it when that happens. Stop it. Yeah, that's how long I've been sitting here. The screen has gone dark. Yeah, I just poured myself a glass of Metaxa. That's brandy. Cheers everyone. I had a little bit of a hiatus, obviously, because you didn't see anything on the channel. That's because about... yeah, this is the subject at hand. About 3 weeks ago I got a throat infection and I've been dealing with the residual effects of that since I had that throat infection. And obviously if there are any residual effects to deal with, which there were, that tends to spoil the recordings. It's mostly fine now, so... don't worry about it. But that's essentially why I wasn't recording. It's not because I was sitting around deciding, you know what, no, fuck these guys, I'm not going to record anything for them. That's not the reason. Don't worry. And I would like to think that you all know that that's almost never the reason. It's just because I'm occupied by other things, usually. But this time around, I just wasn't really in good enough form to record, and that is a fact of life. And, I did record Dark Souls 2 about a week ago, and generally came to regret it, because I was not in good enough form to be recording. Rekrutierung with Kurdi, that looks like a fun room. It's a mystery because it could literally be anything. It doesn't even have to be G-rank at this point, because there's no indication that G-rank quests are going to be put on the board, so we'll find out what is going to be posted. I didn't really intend to talk to the NPC. Kurdi with a Dragonheart loadout, which is always nice to see. I have not used Dragonheart very much in this game. I would like to use it more. But, oh, that's interesting. That's if it falls below, that's if health falls below 2/3. I didn't think that's how you activated it. It's been so long since I've looked at the skill that I genuinely forgot how to use it. Or what it did, even. I just remember it being pretty good. And interesting. Something that would be an entertaining style of play. Particularly for a hunter who was looking for something a little new to engage in. At this stage I'm going to assume that he doesn't yet know what he wants to post, because he's taken a bloody long time to do it. He's either looking for a quest that he actually wants to post, but can't find it, or he is moderately indecisive. I hope you've all been well. Since I was last recording, a few things have happened. A very bad video game came out, which no high-end PC systems could run properly, and Tears of the Kingdom came out, which is so exciting. You can tell by the fact that I'm recording none of it that I'm very excited. Well, no, actually, I shouldn't make that point. I very rarely record games that I am playing that have just come out for various reasons, but no, in the case of Tears of the Kingdom, I'm not playing it, I'm not going to talk about it very much, and I just thought I would at least acknowledge... Well, that's an interesting coincidence, isn't it? But yeah, I thought I may as well make mention of it, because it's probably what a lot of you are playing right at this moment, and what you are obsessing over as we speak. Sorry for waiting, says Kurdi. I think he means sorry for the wait, but I understand the thrust of his point. It's fine. That's not where I'm supposed to put the apostrophe. Can we please just type it out? It's fine. Here we go. It's... No, fucking hell. Fine. Mizutsune has entered the hub. That's lovely. Is he using a Mizutsune loadout? No, he is not. There is nothing about his loadout that relates to his name, but that's alright. You would think that someone with the name Mizutsune would be really quite obsessed with the monster, enough to transmog all of his loadouts into Mizutsune, but no, that doesn't seem to be happening. Or perhaps that's his long-term goal, as he plays the game. So, I'm trying to remember what was actually posted on the board in the end. Why have I forgotten? It's nothing out of the ordinary. I usually do forget for one reason or another. I'll use a blunt loadout then. That's always a safe choice. We'll use blunt lance. I will use blunt gun lance, which I already had equipped there, but I'll do it another time. Well, not literally another time. I'd almost rather use poison, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to bring a poison loadout. I've got a guy in a lizard suit sitting at the table, consuming a meal. Alright, so poison. Let's use the Daito Crow. I haven't done that in a while, have I? Now, I could either use this loadout or the status loadout. Which one would be more appropriate? I'm going to say this loadout because high grade earplugs would be quite helpful. So, I keep calling it the Daito Crow. That's the name of an earlier upgrade of this longsword. I don't know why that is the name that has always stuck in my head. This is not the first time I've referred to this as the Daito Crow, but it is called the Occult Daito if you have it fully upgraded. I think there are two paths that this longsword can take as you upgrade it, and this is the one that I chose. For better or for worse. Somewhat for worse, because it does have 3 slots and I'm not making use of them, but when I looked at the stats, I deemed that these were the best. So, there you go. What are you saying? This guy's like Lord Zor. He just said my name in the chat. Of course, that's because he wants me to join up on the quest. I mean, you have the temerity to stand there for, what was it, about 3 minutes, trying to post a quest, and then you finally posted one, and then when I take 3 minutes to get ready for it, you want to say my name in the chat. Quite frankly, you can relax. Well, who knows? Did he say my name so that he could then say thanks for help? I don't think so. I don't think so somehow. I'm pretty sure he said thanks for help when he realized I had joined his quest, and then his expression of gratitude was directed to the 3 of us. I don't think he was originally intending to thank me, but anyway. Give him the benefit of the doubt? No. I'm very sensitive about these things. I don't have anyone... Yes, I don't have any viewers and I deserve it because I haven't been live recently. But because I had a false start, it created a new live stream, so I have to go and switch to that on my phone display. I am probably slowly but surely losing stamina. Not in any sort of visual way at the moment, but yeah. There's obviously something that exists in the background that, as it depletes, you will visibly lose stamina, so yeah. Anyway, so what are we hunting? We are hunting Kushala Daora, whatever you want to say, Kushala Daora, and he does start over here. What am I doing exactly? Oh yeah, I drank a hot drink. What I was really intending to do was consume a max potion. If you do recall, I did go to the trouble of highlighting my max potion, but then I didn't do anything with it for some reason. I suppose I forgot what I was intending to do, which is, to be honest, entirely pathetic. But maybe I was just distracted by whatever I was discussing in that moment. Again, I'm using my Wii U Pro controller, which I'm not super comfortable with using. Some may question why that is the case, considering that I play Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Well, that's because I don't use this controller to play 3 Ultimate. I actually use the Classic Controller Pro from the original Wii, which is what I used for Monster Hunter Tri. Sits a little differently in the hand. In fact, I do have a tendency to slightly bump my right analog stick when I press the X, A, Y, B buttons. I think it's X, B, A, Y. I think that's the way you're supposed to say it. Doesn't matter. I think I have gotten my point across. Damn it, I did not actually fully charge that. We do now have a poisoned Kushala, so we shouldn't have to worry about his See, I did intend to actually do a Fade Slash there. I feel out of practice with this controller for some reason, I don't know why. It's alright. This would be a good flash bomb position, but... Oh, I see. Okay. Now I did that strike because I felt that it would deal more damage, and therefore raise the chances of us getting a head flinch, and I think it is safe to say that is what happened. It's good of you to go on your hind legs just as... How fucking hard is it, Doomlink, to get your gauge fully charged up? Oh yeah, how stupid of me. I was saying, oh, this would be a good place to throw a flash bomb, and then I realized, well, actually, obviously traps don't work. It's so funny, I never see people putting down traps during Elder Dragon Quest, so instead of just being in shock that one had been placed, I just assumed, yeah, let's get him in the trap. It's sort of going to the other extreme, I suppose. Well, yeah, I am quite stupidly bumping my right analog stick as I interact with these buttons, or as I press these buttons. It's really annoying, actually, because it's moving my camera in a way that I don't intend to move it. Yes, Mihu Kant, that would be hilarious. I'm just going to Unhinged Spirit because, ladies and gentlemen, well, unless that has... No, that has actually just cancelled my Unhinged Spirit. I need to perform the entire animation. Otherwise, it does not work. Can I just put on record the fact that I am playing horrendously right now? I don't know what it is. I just don't have an explanation for it. I hate that attack. Where it starts right to the left of the monster. Well, considerably to the left of the monster. I don't really use confusing terms. But yeah, that's just... It's fucking infuriating. I hate that attack. Anyway. I'm trying to get away from... Well, I suppose I was going close to it. In trying to reach the Kushala. But yeah, the way I'm playing is just... And I accidentally used a potion. It's extraordinary. I've never struggled with a controller this much. I don't know what it is. It's a mental disconnect of some kind. I'm just... It's like I'm using this controller for the first time and my hands are just like, what's going on? My hands are confused. I suppose that's what happens when in the long term you just become so used to muscle memory guiding you through Monster Hunter. And then you might have a slight lapse in muscle memory, recollection, or the redevelopment of a new, let's say, profile in your memories. And, yeah, you try to revert to something else and it simply doesn't work. So I really need to pay attention to what I'm doing with my controller, I suppose. Now that I'm paying a little bit more attention, it's slightly more effective. Or my playing is slightly less retarded, you'll put it that way. A very forgiving hitbox on that claw swing. I've used an inexcusable number of potions at this point. I will now use Unhinged Spirit. Without hesitation. I'm quite surprised by how much this monster's being flinched. I was under the impression that this was a stronger Kushala than the standard one. I know that it's an event monster, but yeah, no, that was actually a stronger than usual Kushala, so I'm pretty surprised that he was flinching that much and that he is already limping. And that's taking into consideration the fact that I was playing like this was my first time using a longsword, and the first time using this controller, and the first time fighting this monster. So, yeah, there you go. This is one of the best quests for large Elder Dragon gems, by the way. Very good drop chance. Something like, I don't know, 5%. Could even be higher. Well, I suppose we can call that a warm-up hunt. Yeah, it's these analog sticks. They just feel too big and too... I don't know. They're just in the way. Like, my thumbs keep brushing them, but particularly the one on the right. Just keeps brushing the one on the right, and I'm not intending for that at all. Anyway. But yeah, I tend to use poison against Kushala in this game because no one else does, so I feel almost duty-bound on account of the fact that I'm not too lazy to actually equip one. Most people are like, if it deals damage, it'll be effective. And, yeah, it's fine. I'll just try to go about it in a more thoughtful way. No, it's not a new controller, it's just, it's the Wii U Pro controller. I've been using this in this game for probably the last 3 or 4 recordings, but today in particular, for some reason, I'm just struggling with it. It's fucking with me. I need to get my head around it. I'm sure... Stop it! Just do that. How many times have you all seen me accidentally put something away in my box? Player 4 has informed us that he's peeing, which is unnecessary, because I can't imagine that taking him so long that we'd be sitting around going, oh, where is this guy? Well, I suppose this is such a fast-paced community that it is possible. Now, is this a turns room? No, there's no indication that this is a turns room, so... I'll have to wait for Curdy to say, post Lord Zor, so that I can then say, skip me, and then... I don't know. We'll see if that's what happens. If not, then I suppose Curdy's just going to post again. Which I don't mind, because I joined this room with the full understanding that it had not been outlined to be a turns room. He just said, thanks guys. Makes me think that he's going to leave now. It's possible, and I wouldn't protest if he did. But that would be funny, because, you know, I just put forward 2 different scenarios, and now a third one is possibly about to take place. Mizutsune, I think, just left because that's exactly what he assumed. He assumed that Curdy was saying that as a finalizing goodbye. What's next, he asks. Well, your choice of words has caused player 3 to immediately leave because, I don't know, he doesn't want to take the chance that you're not intending on leaving. Because there's every likelihood that you will, and then that would cause him to wait, I don't know, an extra 30 seconds. Which is inexcusable, as we know. I don't really care what we do next. Do I have to write it out? I don't mind. Oh, goodness. Just as well player 4 is peeing as we speak. Again, just in case you all needed to know. Curdy is going to post again, which is fine. To be honest, the person that I would have preferred to post next just up and left. A pinnacle just for you. Oh, never mind. I thought it was Curdy who was going to post, but it's actually this guy who's just posted something. That's fine. I don't really like that attitude where he just decides that I'm not going to post and that Curdy, the quest host, isn't going to post. He just puts his own thing on the board and prays. It's his lucky day, however. Kirin. What would be tolerable? What would cause me to not have a meltdown? Heavy normal might be an option. Yeah, I'll just do heavy normal. Because it would be... Well, I don't even think I have a pellet loadout, so pellet wouldn't be an option, and beyond that, I don't want to be chasing this monster the whole time. You still have to do a little bit of chasing to keep within critical distance using normal shots, but still, like, I'd rather this. Curdy says yes. What the... Stop saying my name! Why does he say my name every time? Like, him saying my name is going to get me to come faster. Stop doing that. Like, how... This was considerably less time. That was like 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, but... I just don't get it, okay? Am I sensitive about it? Maybe. Am I extraordinarily intolerant of it? Probably. But what does it fucking achieve to say my name impatiently when I'm not immediately getting ready for the quest? Do you think I'm not going to come? Are you concerned? Is it an expression of uncertainty? Just look at this guy. He's actually glued to my shoulder, checking out what I'm doing. He's like, why isn't he departing? What's he doing? What's going on? Are we gonna play now? I'm ready now. Fuck me sideways. I don't even think I brought combination materials, to be honest. Because this guy's rushing me. I just forgot, because I was rather distracted by this person. Anyway. I don't know, some of you might wonder how it still bothers me. It will always bother me. And I will become increasingly bothered by it the more I see it. And the more time passes where it's just the same fucking cycle over and over and over again. Just extraordinary impatience. Alright, so this is a standard Kirin hunt. It is in a locale, as opposed to an arena, or a single area location, is what I really mean when I say that. So, there you are. Most of the confrontations that I've had with Kirin in this game have been in this area. Or, I suppose, it's been this specific quest. Oh my god. Even with high sensitivity on my aiming, it's hard to stay on target with this prick. Just making sure it's not directed on me. Obviously, you try to aim for the head where you can, but much of the reason why I'm using this loadout is for DPS. It's because it's quite easy to stay on target. You don't have to keep constantly repositioning. You do have to stay within critical distance, but... well, rather, if the situation arises that you are outside of critical distance, it is necessary to close that distance, but you can see that for the most part, that's not a huge issue. It's very good to see. I have to say, I do have some respect for Kurdy in bringing a greatsword to this confrontation. He's actually performing with it. He's not just wasting our time. He's doing rather well. This person, however, is bouncing immediately with his longsword, which does not fill me with any amount of confidence. I have a supernova. I don't know how the hell I'm going to be able to get that off. For the moment, I'm just going to leave it alone. Pretend that it's not there. The fact that I don't have combination materials actually hurts me. Do I not? Do I really not? Yeah, I don't. Oh, fuck. I do have internal ammo, but I'm pretty sure it's thunder, which, suffice it to say, is unhelpful. And I suppose I can just blame Kurdy. How about that? He was putting me off. Distracting me. I think the horn's already broken. Bloody hell. It should be mentioned that to compensate for the fact that this monster is constantly moving around, he doesn't have that much health. So the reason why the horn is already broken is because the low HP of the monster causes that part of the body to break without too much damage needing to be dealt to it. I'm enjoying seeing the number of flinches from this monster, or knockdowns, whatever you want to call it. It's heartening. It demonstrates that we're actually getting things done. But obviously if you're going to use a bowgun, you don't want something that needs to travel through the monster in order to deal damage. You want something that has focused, localized damage, and obviously is accuracy focused, because if it's accuracy focused, as you can see, you can get that damage focused on the head, or on a weak point. Sadly, I'm just about out of my normal level 2, which is the ideal shot type here. Normal level 3, I can't imagine piercing very well through this monster at all. So what? We do have flaming shots. I don't think Kirin is that weak to fire anymore. He used to be. Maybe he is still weak to fire, I don't know. Most likely not, so I guess we'll just use normal level 3. I have normal up and sharpshooter, so... normal level 3 should still be passable in terms of damage. Normal level 3 has the potential to deal a whole lot of damage, it's just that because the ricochet is unlikely to pierce very well through this monster, in fact the ricochet is unlikely to make contact at all, it's better to use normal 2 because that's higher impact damage than 3. Oh my god. I do know that the tail is at drop, but I can't remember if the tail is at break. Some tails do break, like Rathian, for example. But I'm not sure about Kirin, I genuinely don't remember. I think my Thunder Res sucks. Oh, -6. It's not too bad. It's not good, but it's a lot better than it could be. Oh, we got a mount. Too bad. I think he just got flung. That was very funny. Alright. Good hunt, I would say. Overall, a successful venture. No combination materials required. Oh, I do actually have pickaxes. That's a shocker. Almost can't believe it. There's very little that I would need at this stage in the game, but I don't know, I'm such a hoarder of materials that it gives me pleasure to be able to mine. The question is, why do I have pickaxes in my inventory? How have I ever looked at that and decided, oh, that's fine. That's a good use of my inventory space. It's bizarre. Hello, A-Gaming. But yeah, considering it was only 3 of us, and one of the guys was fucking bouncing with his longsword and the other guy was using a greatsword, that was pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, check out that final screen. That's quite cool. I don't know, you see the shot that looks like it's off target appears to be the ricochet. Although I can see another shot firing off into the distance there. So that's interesting. Yeah. A nice final shot. Or final image of the confrontation. We got an Azure Peak, which is the best drop of the Kirin, in the sense that it is the hardest to get. It's not very hard to get, it's just hard if you don't break the horn. A-Gaming's playing Monster Hunter 2. It's just funny to me that everyone's like, guys, Monster Hunter 2's patched now. It's been patched for like 3 years. And when I say patched, I mean with a good English translation. It's had an English translation since, I don't know, what would it have been, 2010, something like that? But that translation was horrendous, it has to be said. It got a really good English translation, I think, back in 2020. Sounds about right. So, yeah. It got a new one, but now everyone's playing Monster Hunter 2. I shouldn't complain, it's a good thing that people are playing Monster Hunter 2, but it's just funny that everyone's acting like it wasn't translated before. It's like, well, it's not my fault. Well, I should rephrase that. It's your fault for not being up to date, I guess. But yeah, Yuzu had a good English patch going. I'm actually going to change rooms. This room has probably reached the point where it's not going to be as fun. We've got Nick at HR 999. He has set an HR minimum of 200. He wants to do EX hunts, and I do not want to do EX hunts. There's this guy who I still don't quite know what his purpose for coming online is, but that's a mystery for someone else to solve. Let's join Joseph, who has a face in his name. No, I don't think everything was translated by Yuzu, but it was almost as comprehensive as, well, I suppose we'll say complete. It was about as complete as the current portable third patch is, so yeah, there you go. Aurora has joined the room. It's usually not a good indication when the person who's made the room is still standing in the starting position. So yeah, this guy may very well be entirely AFK. We'll see if he moves anywhere. Or does anything. What's going on? This data person keeps sending messages. Anyway. Probably eating. Well, I'd actually say it's more likely that he's taking a piss. Because that's something you can't necessarily control, but you can choose when to eat, and generally you wouldn't eat when you've decided to sit down and play Monster Hunter. That's just my impression. I'll give this guy, like... Well, admittedly, there's nothing stopping the three of us from hunting without him, and then when he comes back, he can join in, but... Maybe he would become indignant that we had departed without him and then just leave anyway, which I suppose would work just fine. It's just, I suppose the problem is that none of us really want to do anything. Well, maybe some of us do want to do something. I don't know. I'm going to look around for something interesting. If you're wondering why I still haven't completed every quest, it's because the ones that haven't been completed are really boring, like deliver 20 comet rocks. Woo! Slay 30 great thunderbugs. Deliver 20 beautiful shells. I just haven't found the time to do that. Sorry. I'm not a completionist in a game that is as big as this one. This is not interesting to me. Interestingly, they do have the event quests with completion ticks now. Which is weird, because in every game before Monster Hunter Generations, there was no completion tick for event quests. So, there you go. I may actually post one. I'm probably going to keep with the same loadout just to get on top of it. Let's do Test of the Beast. I don't know if this is a particularly difficult one or what. Yeah, the guy still hasn't come back, so if we could all just decide to hunt something without him, and then he can leave or stay, that's his choice. See, why do you act as if the room is dead because the host is dead? There's 3 people moving around, and there's one guy who's AFK. Why does that... Like, why is that an issue? I don't understand it. It didn't take long for me to suss that one out, logically. Anyway. Let me organise my ammunition. Now I'm obliged to sit here and wait for this fucking host to come back. Because now there would only be 2 of us if we departed, because Aurora, in his infinite wisdom, decided, oh, this room is just pointless because the host isn't here, even though there are, as far as I can tell, 3 willing hunters. Anyway, I'm actually going to bring combination materials this time. We want needleberries and bone husks. We can obviously 2-man this quest. I'm going to give this... Well, I'm not going to give this guy any time at all because this data... Stop it! Stop! We're going now. I fucking saw you do that. I saw you walk over to the quest giver, forgetting that you had already readied up because you were trying to cancel the quest and leave. So, you can relax. Why do I keep forgetting to eat? Well, I have a good reason for not eating this time. Because I had to depart before this guy was like, no! I'm gonna try a different room. Fuck you. I can't imagine that it's a private communication, Mina. Just tell me what it is here and I can tell you what's going on. If it is, then fine, but... I mean, I can probably check it now. I just don't know where this monster is. Oh. Oh, Ugo. Is that his actual name? I'll just have a look. Where has he been talking? Sorry, it's just someone with a borderline not safe for work avatar in Monster Hunter. Oh, it's this bitch guy. No, that's fine. That one's fine. If it, even if Discord flags it automatically as not safe for work, I would say that that's okay. It's sexually suggestive, but it's not There's nothing explicit there. So, it's fine. Where the fuck is this thing? It's here. No, it's not here. That's a that's a Cephalos. Ugh. Data apparently has not brought Psychoserums. I feel sorry for people who don't bring Psychoserums, because then you end up like this Data person. I'm sick of saying the word Dada. Makes me sound like an infant. Still learning how to speak. Alright. Don't you dare leave before I can engage you. Not a difficult quest to two-man, even if it's hyper. It'll probably take us 10 minutes. But yeah. Like, what's the point of waiting for that guy who's just totally AFK? I consider going AFK in the default standing position when you enter a room to be more AFK than normal. He just came back now. I consider that to be exceptionally AFK. The Sakuya had joined and then... Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just annoyed that Aurora person left. Still. Oh, Dada's using PS light bowgun, so this is going to take less than 10 minutes. For certain. Yeah, you're so fast, it's just that you weren't actually targeting either of us, so that wasn't very frightening. I'm getting sick of Cephalos. Oh. Honestly, this hyper crab is really annoying. It moves so erratically. It just moves from side to side, back and forth. Very good. It's a good place for him to fall down. Oh, that... It was so close to hitting me, but then it did eventually hit me. Well, I wouldn't really call Hermitaur a desert crab. He does exist in the jungle as well. He's not an exclusively desert-based creature. Look how much that Mario feline is glitching. It's quite funny. Alright, so I would like to try doing Supernova. Oh my god. That's not going to reach. Holy shit. How far did you have to travel with that? What an irritating attack. What an irritating monster that he has to move this much. Like, what the fuck is this about? Oh my god. But yeah, I apologize for using the same loadout twice, it's just that there was good reason for me to do it. Oh, was that a knockdown? It looked like a knockdown while I was standing underneath the fucking monster, but I suppose it wasn't in the end. Oh god, that's a scary attack. Look at it. God. Thank you for the resub. Well, actually, that's a Prime subscription, so... Well, still. A subscription is a subscription, so I will thank you. I think I broke something. I didn't break the horn, but I did break the skull shell, so... That's nice. Because that was a very deliberate shot. And it was on the horn too, so it was quite cinematic, we'll say. Stop her. I've never told a crab to go and get a life, but I'm very tempted to say that as I fight this thing. The wonders of quick sheath with a heavy bowgun. No. That's quite good. Let's supernova this bastard. Cook him for dinner. Oh, got him right in the face too. That series of attacks was very good. Good fight. Yeah, it was clean, wasn't it? He got me back, we'll put it that way. Yeah, the supernova... So, the supernova has a sweet spot. And that sweet spot got him right on the face. Whether or not that affects the damage, I'm not sure, but... In other words, where precisely it hits, but... I'm gonna guess no, but still, it was pretty cool. Now, I was anticipating that we would get this done before we reached the 10-minute mark. We'll see if that's how things turn out. I'm assuming that at this point I have now become the host of this room. I don't know if I'm going to continue this room as the host or if I'm going to look for a different one, but... I don't think this room has very interesting... How do I say... details. Hasn't been... There's no interesting description. Or anything like that. Getting some good ricochets here. This is a good monster for ricochets, and the reason why is because he's got... Like, the position of his legs in relation to his body creates a very... opportune angle for normal shots, or normal level 3. Yeah, there's no ambiguity when it comes to a limping Hermitaur, you can tell. It's like, oh god. He's very much injured. Alright, I'll do gunpowder infusion. Thank God for the elevation. Oh, whoops. But yeah, because I do have event quest completion ticks, I may as well try to get them all completed. Why not? Oh, he is leaving. How about we kill him with a supernova? Nothing wrong with that. You know what? My screen shouldn't be this letterboxed, surely. I knew it. I had the wrong crop selected. It was looking a bit widescreen there, wasn't it? Sorry. I saw that at the start of the recording and I was like, that doesn't look right, but for some reason I didn't pursue it further. Oh well. You stay right there, buddy. Oh, beautiful. And I fucking destroyed the horn of that skull with that as well. The sweet spot hit the horn. It just blew it away. Excellent. Two really good supernovas, I would say. Both of them were really nice in their own way. The first one, well, honestly, both of them hit a really good spot of the monster. In terms of making it look effective and deliberate. Of course it's deliberate, but it's nice when your target is reached, I suppose. Well, it did take 10 minutes, and you seem quite impressed with yourself. Why would you look like that? Oh, I don't mind if I do. Can't complain, okay? Yeah, just move a little bit more that way. Oh, hold on. I think the Genprey is moving it. Anyway. I don't know what armor that is. All I can say, what I was actually trying to comment on was the multicolored pigment. I didn't actually see what ticket that was. I'd like to check to see what ticket that was. I suppose I can check my box for the most recent items added. And that way I'll figure it out. Or not. Perhaps not. I may have already acquired the ticket from somewhere else, which is weird. Because I hadn't done that quest yet. If it is acquired from multiple quests, it's probably not very good. That would be my guess. But, yeah. Dada has left. Quite frankly, I don't think it was that person's intention to depart with me on that quest, but because I had essentially forced them into it, they decided to stick around, but then, yeah, they were quick to move on after that one. Fair enough. Again, for those who didn't see, she walked over to the quest giver while she was still readied up, obviously forgetting to unready up, and I used that as an opportunity to depart with her. It was funny. Alright. Here's the ticket. Here it is. Flying Zin Mark. Okay. Proof of membership in the elite army unit of a man who would be general. It actually doesn't sound that special, like just being a general in an army. Okay. I'm just bringing up my decks. It's used to forge Zin's Trust, a sword and shield. Let's check it out. I'm not opposed to event weapons. Zin's Trust. It's a weird name. It's obviously from something. Anyone know what it's from? Doesn't ring any bells for me. Probably an anime, I don't know. What are the stats like? I can check it out in the weapons tab. No, it's not particularly good. I already have a fairly unremarkable sword and shield that's raw damage based, and that's the Master Sword, so yeah. I would sooner use the Master Sword G than that. Although, sad as it is to admit, the Master Sword G is worse. Oh my god. Because Zin's Virtue is actually 320 attack. 25 affinity, 30 defense, and by the looks of it, considerably more purple with sharpness +1. Anyway. Yeah, it could be a reference to an ancient Chinese general, I suppose that's possible. Well, I reckon the last hint would be the name of that quest. We'll have a look. It was... well, no, Test of the Beast. What do you mean? I heard that the strongest being in this land was some giant crab. Are you not a hunter? Will you stand for that? Go beat him. Prove your worth. Yeah, that's not much of a hint, is it? Perhaps it is, I don't know, but it's not the sort of hint that would indicate anything for my benefit. Alright, so should I forge it? I suppose I should if I'm willing to use the Master Sword. I'd better be willing to use this. Although I'm probably not going to be able to fully upgrade it, right? Because it'll probably need more tickets. Let's find out. Let's just sort. How did I guess? Well, there you go. Could always do the quest again. Oh my god. Fucked nah. Doing share the load and the reward. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is a cat quest. If it's a cat quest... oh. I think you all know what's going to happen. It does not appear to be a cat quest, so I'm happy to help. Yeah, poke. That's the correct attitude to have. Have a look and see what's been posted on the board. Don't just sprint to the quest giver and post your... oh, he left. I don't know why. I suppose he probably knows what quests are key quests, and that was not a key quest. Begs the question as to why he joined in the first place. But whatever. We'll bring a charge blade, shall we? We'll bring Serasedum. Because for some reason, I'm not in the mood to use the Kushala Daora charge blade at the moment. It might be because it's a fucking ugly charge blade. This isn't necessary. Well, actually, this charge blade looks very cool when you unsheath it, because the sword is, in my opinion, one of the most attractive. I love the design of it. So yeah. I have not played Magic the Gathering. What was I going to check? I got a text. What do you mean edit your profile? I swipe something on my Twitch app. Like, I swipe from the top and it's like, edit your profile. What? Why would I swipe down from the top of my screen to edit my profile? Like, you know, sometimes you get web design and app design and you sit there and you go, this was not designed for humans. Like, there was no way this was designed for a human being. Does that make sense to you? At all? At all. I'd like to edit my profile, so I'm going to swipe down from the top. I'm not talking about, you know, you get a list of different options. It literally, there were two options on the screen when I swiped down from the top. It was an X mark to, like, remove that, and there was one other button, and that was edit profile. Like, what? I just don't understand. Anyway. I suppose I don't have to know. I can just forever be confused. Crystal the cat is AFK, sorry. Don't know why I am. I suppose it's because I read fucked nah when I said A-OK, so I added like an equally awkward syllable, as that name is, into what I was saying. Well, if this person's AFK, it's going to be a fun social experiment to see how quickly this room falls apart. Because in this community, I've done it before. Ladies and gentlemen, hand on heart, I have gotten up to take a piss, and I have had an entire group join, ready up on my quest, and then all of them leave. I've had it happen, hand on heart. That's about a minute and a half for me to get up, take a piss, and come back, and that happened. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I couldn't believe it. Hey yo, says Crystal. Well, fortunately, these people are slightly more subdued. Well, if people are trying to come up with the next big thing in UI design, let me put it this way. I'm sick of being the fucking guinea pig. Because UI is not, let's just try super random shit that makes no sense and maybe something will stick. That's stupid. That doesn't help anyone. Just focus on what's comfortable and what works. Quite frankly, what would be groundbreaking in UI design is to come up with something good and stick with it, because no one does that. Everyone just keeps on constantly changing it. Constantly changing it into something different. And obviously you have people who are resistant to change, and so therefore they will reject it even if it's better in certain ways. But you can't just assume that because people take issue with it, that's all it means. It just means people don't like change. What I have, honest to goodness, found is that most UI changes and improvements are actually downgrades. And I've dealt that with websites and services all my life on the internet. Usually they get worse, not better. And when they improve certain things, other things become worse, which is not an improvement. Unless you can improve something without, negatively affecting the way people interact with the service or the website or whatever it happens to be, the video game, the anything. If you can't improve it without fucking up someone else's experience, wait until you figure out a way to make it work a little better. That's the best I can say. Oops, that was really not what I wanted to do. I'm playing Double Cross! Oh, I don't even know what to tell you. This is Double Cross. It's the same game. Why would I play Double Cross? Like, I can't actually port my save over as far as I'm aware. If there were actually a way to port my save over to Double Cross, I'd play with you guys. I really would. But I don't know how I would do that. Maybe if I got a Generations Ultimate save, I could do it, but it's getting the save that's the difficult part. Because I don't have a modded Nintendo Switch or anything. Well, yes, I think that is what he means, but yeah. Alright, how about I actually get Red Shield final? I've been playing rather strangely. Oh yeah. Kulija's using one of the weirdest greatsword designs in the series. It's the greatsword design that looks like a switch axe. Oh, sorry, it looks like a charge blade. It could actually either be a charge blade or a switch axe, but it's actually a greatsword. It's really ugly. Look at it. Oh, disgusting. Oh, fisherman. Oh no. The sleeping guy is attempting to fish him out. And he failed. That's why I was standing back, if anyone was wondering. Because I was concerned that maybe he was too late, and he was. Looks like Crystal and I were working towards a KO, which is nice. Oh, good time for Ripper Shield. I will make use of that as soon as it seems appropriate. Well, no, I don't think it's intended to be a shield of any sort. I think it's just because those have a razor edge to them. Those little winged arcs on either side. So I think it's just meant to cut more deeply. I don't know. It's just such an awful design for a sword. It's very ugly. It expands out actually when he unsheaths it. Look at the thing. Oof. I've seen it before. I just remember seeing it and thinking that it was a switch axe or a charge blade design. And then I looked at the weapon type and it was a fucking greatsword. Unbelievable. It's Tal, what the fuck? Alright, let's get some close-ups on that ugly fucking sword. Here we go. Look at it. Can you believe that there is a sword that ugly? It's a great sword. Yeah, he's shy. He knows I'm fucking looking at it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Show everyone your butt ugly fucking sword. Look at that. Oh my god. And can you believe that that's... I think that's actually a 4th gen weapon design. I don't remember that from 3rd gen. And it definitely wasn't in 1st or 2nd, so can you believe that in 4th generation they came up with a standard iron sword design that was considerably uglier than anything designed in 1st and 2nd gen? That's incredible to me. Anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Monster Hunter 4. Shocking. Alright. So, what's happening in this room? I swear I went to hub settings. Did I not go to hub settings? Anyway, maybe I did and I thought I was looking at something else. Hunting is the name of this room. And it seems that it is Crystal's room. Crystal is going to... Well, sorry, what's the name again? Fucktna. I'm just going to call him Fucktna. So Fucktna is just going to keep posting. And so be it. I can live with that. What's a fun weapon to use? Do I have any fun weapons? Like, well, I guess I have my joke weapons, don't I? How about I use a joke weapon? I'll use... What's something that would be effective against a Rathian among my joke weapons? I wanted to use my plunger, but water is not that good against Rathian. Alright, I've changed my mind. I'm going to use something serious. Something fun, but serious. In the sense that it's fun, but actually effective. And that's this here. So... Am I... No, that is not the right loadout. I want... blunt longsword with this and changing the Hunter Arts. There we go. Have you guys seen me use this on camera? Probably not. Alright, so change styles. Or change arts, rather. Sword Dance 3 and Chaos Oil 3. Check this out. It is a blunt dragon sword and shield. And it's a pretty little thing. Well, maybe pretty is not the word. I like the design of it. That crescent shape. It is fully upgraded, isn't it? It is. Yeah, that's some damage right there. It's almost 400 raw, and we're not even in the quest yet. Like, we have not yet gained the damage boost from Bludgeoner, and we're almost at 400 raw. And it's got a bit of element too, so it's pretty good. I'll eat for even more attack. How about that? Ooh. Okay, so it was intended to be a shielding design to the greatsword. That was good research indeed. Defender. It's ugly. I don't care if it's actually got a use to be shaped like that. It's fucking ugly. Alright. I want anime weapons, not weapons. Well, honestly, that is pretty anime. Like, as if... I don't think any sword has been designed like that in real life. And let me tell you, consider how many centuries of human experience, or human life, took place where the sword was pretty much the main weapon of self-defense and offense. If no legitimate weapon in that period was ever designed to look like that, one can assume that it probably wouldn't have been very effective. Oh my god, who's blowing me away? Must be the cat. The cat can go and get a life. Wonder what my damage is. It is 442 on a sword and shield. What the fuck? It's pretty good. That's some serious damage on this sword and shield. Oh, almost got hit by the follow-up on the tail swing there. I need to keep away from this fucking cat. It's flinching me a lot. Yeah, I'm trying to keep away from you. Can't you see that you keep flinching me? Like, if I'm deliberately trying to stay away from you and you start coming towards me, it means you need to have better control over your movements. I'm sure I've got a shout somewhere that tells the person to stop attacking me. So I could just use that. I don't have to dig through 3 pages of shouts to do that. There we go. Got a knockdown. Oh, that's a shame. I was going to use that knockdown to hit the head. Oh. My teammates are dangerous. That's about the best appraisal I can make of these people. It's that they are constantly fucking hitting me. Yeah, this is a cool sword and shield, don't you reckon? That's a good knockdown. Oh, I see. The reason why that knockdown didn't last as long is because there was a KO that was incoming. Oh, it's good to get that on target with the head. I don't think she's gonna last very long. I can sense it. It's a bad day for it. Now I've got Chaos Oil queued up. You don't have much longer to live, I suspect. The Sword and Shield looks pretty cool with the Chaos Oil appearance, because there's essentially a gap between that crescent shape for the Chaos Oil visual effect. And I like that a lot. Good night. Let's get a good look at that. Oh my god, so much fucking shrubbery, go away. Alright, now that looks pretty cool, alright. It just seems to work with this weapon design. I'll carve up this Rathian. Yes, it does have a faint glow to it, much like the Nargacuga himself. Synchronized carving. Let's get some burned husks. Probably don't have many of those anymore, because I haven't collected them in ages. I don't actually have much in the way of Rathian materials, for some reason. I was seeing low numbers there as I was taking materials, so I seem to have plenty of cortexes, but as far as other things, it seems to be lacking. Not that that would be overly detrimental, but yeah. I should mention that while I have been playing a lot of this game after reaching Hunter Rank 999, there's never an end to your progress, if you understand. At any point, I could resolve to make a whole lot of weapons that I don't already have, using all of these materials that I have amassed since reaching, you know, a Hunter Rank where I no longer needed to forge new weapons and make new armor. And that would very much change the way I'd play the game. You know, I would have all these different weapons to choose from, and it would be for personal enjoyment rather than for just using the best possible weapon that I had available. And yeah, I think that's something that I could do in the future. I don't know. Blunt. Well, I suppose we'll keep with this loadout and we'll equip that switch axe that I just saw. That's one that I don't often use. It was a blast one, wasn't it? Grand Versa axe. I almost never use this. Alright, let's get some switch axe. Hunter Arts. Trance Slash and Demon Riot. No, I usually use Energy Blade. Wherever that is. Oh no, I'm thinking of... Yeah, sorry. That's all correct. Energy Blade is, of course, Charge Blade. But yeah, Bludgeoner honestly opens you up to so many weapons in this game. There are a few Bludgeoner weapons that I've yet to make, elementally speaking, and those are usually the ice ones. Like, for the most part, it's the ice ones, which require Elder Frost materials. Ugh. You guys have seen me on and off attempting to get Elder Frost materials, and it's a bad time. Face off in the jungle. This is Nargacuga, so should be south. Yep. Down that way. And go from this direction. Because I can't remember which of the directions going that way actually take me straight there, so I'm just going to keep it simple and take this route. But yeah, isn't it nice that you can have a weapon design like this, which is very attractive, but without Bludgeoner it's a shitty weapon, and then give it a new lease on life. You know, it's not just effective as a basic raw weapon at the start of a rank level, like for instance, early G rank. You know, it's a good weapon to use in the end game thanks to Bludgeoner, and I like that a lot. This thing has element file actually. Oops, bit off target there. Oh, that's right, I don't have high gradient plugs, that's I'm quite used to having that with Switch Axe. But yeah, this is a blast weapon. Blast isn't amazing in this game, but it's pretty good when you've also got some raw damage. That was actually a fairly helpful knockback there from a teammate. Right, did not intend to do that. Oh, get out of the way of that shit. Oh well. I should have completely vacated that zone. That area of the monster. But I did not. What is my blast value? It's 20. That's not very impressive. Should have rolled through it. I should do an elemental burst when I have the opportunity. We've got Trance Slash, which is pretty good. Here we go. That's a Trance Slash opportunity once I stop being knocked on the fucking ground by my teammate. Oh, sadly I didn't have enough charge to actually get the burst off. That's a shame. If you're fast enough, you can actually get 2 consecutive reloads if you hit an empty charge gauge on your Switch Axe. Or maybe they made it so that you can't do that in this game. I do know in 3rd gen you could do that. Haven't tried it since. Oh. Sadly, he was not aiming for anyone further away from him. I have to say that this Nargacuga has put up a good fight. I am currently not putting up a good fight because I'm attacking this monster outside of... well, I'm out of range. And I'm just fucking swinging inanely at the monster. Soulbreaker. Which one's Soulbreaker? Switch Axe from Tri called Soulbreaker. Do you mean the one with the dragon fire? Okay. It's an interesting choice. Alright. I don't dislike it. I think the axe head part of that Switch Axe is pretty cool. Yeah, actually, when that switch axe is sheathed, it looks pretty cool. Definitely. It looks good sheathed. It's got a good shape. Wouldn't say it's my favourite, though. I much prefer Sinister Saints in Tri. Sinister Saints looks very cool. What I like about it the most is that it was an art submission from a fan. But I actually felt that it was what I liked about it was that it was unlike any Monster Hunter weapon design that I had seen prior to that point. And it was indeed an art submission from a fan, and I think it looked really good. I absolutely despise Capcom for their fucking laziness when it comes to getting G-rank versions of the Monster Hunter Tri event weapons in 3 Ultimate. They left them to be pointless to forge because they didn't make G-rank versions of them. So, in particular, I'm thinking of Tenebra and Sinister Saints. Like, they existed in 3 Ultimate, but they didn't have G-rank versions, and that's totally unacceptable. So when people talk about the problems with 3 Ultimate and the fact that it was a low-effort iteration in the series, which it was in certain ways, the thing that I find to be the most inexcusable, like there are certain things I can look past. I do refer to 3 Ultimate as my favourite Monster Hunter game, in spite of all that they fucked up with it. But the one thing that I find to be... There are 2 things that I find to be totally inexcusable. The first is the fact that charm tables operate in the way that they do. Fixed charm tables. That is just absurd. It is absurd and pathetic. And the second thing is the fact that a lot of the Monster Hunter Tri event weapons did not get G-rank equivalents, which basically rendered them useless. They were just pointless collectibles that were not effective at all. And some event weapons are not that effective, but imagine if you've got an event weapon that's high rank level in a G-rank game. That's a whole new level of being ineffective. So, yeah, you may as well hang it on your fucking wall. Never equip it. It's really bad. I don't think I remember the Tri lightsaber for the Japanese players. I remember all of the Pirate J stuff and the True Cutter sword and don't remember the light sword or lightsaber. If I saw it, I'd probably remember it. Yeah, I distinctly remember, because I think I had seen the Japanese event weapons for Tri before Tri came out. Because I was checking out the new Monster Hunter game on Wii while I was playing Freedom Unite. And I had seen the True Cutter sword. And I remember seeing the Lion's Bane, and when I realised that that was the replacement for the True Cutter sword, I was bitterly disappointed. Okay, this guy has got some Class A cojones for putting a fucking Slay 30 Great Thunderbugs quest on the board. But you know what? Quite absurdly, I think I'm actually going to join it, because I don't think I've done it myself. I think I haven't done it. Alright. Fucking hell. Alright. No Potato. Rising Soul was a Western Tri version. That was the one that's that turquoise cyan coloured lightning longsword. That's Rising Soul. That was in the game that you and I played. What the fuck am I going to equip? It doesn't even matter really, does it? I can just use this. I can't believe I'm doing this quest. I really can't, but you know what? I haven't completed it, so if this guy's putting it on the board, I'll do it. Fuck it. It's quite ironic that I was, at the start of this recording, talking about how I hadn't completed those quests. Like, there were quests that I hadn't completed. Why was that? Well, it's because they were shit quests. Shockingly, this person's put one on the board. I never would have expected that. Extraordinary. But yeah, if you can give me a name to search for that lightsaber weapon you're talking about, I can check it out and see if I recognize it at all. Oh, hello. I guess I can paintball you. I suppose we can hunt it if we want. I'm not fussed one way or the other. Do you want to fight it, Crystal? Oh, yeah, Crystal wants to fight it. Very well. I will consume a max potion then. This has now turned into a fucking repeat of the previous hunt. I have the same loadout, fighting the same monster. I apologize for the repetition, I guess. I think everyone's using the same loadout. Makes me wish I'd changed. Oh, stop it. Well, I suppose it's not his fault, but... yeah. Just missed a reload opportunity, actually. Yeah. Try to evade them. I'm gonna go back into axe mode so I can reload. Oh god, that was right on my position. I will try to... yeah, I'm just going to use axe mode for a little while so that I can get my charge gauge up a little bit, so then I can make use of Trance Slash. I may actually drop a trap for Trance Slash, just to ensure that I can get the whole thing off. But I do need a little bit more. Well, I need a higher charged gauge than this. Alright, let's get a trap down. We'll go shock trap because that way we don't have to worry about him being enraged or not. Coordinating the team in line with the trap is going to be difficult, but anyway. There you go. There's a full Trance Slash with the elemental burst right between his legs, right where it hurts the most. Although the hit zones may not reflect it. There is a separate monster hit zone, and that is Dignity hit zone. And that was the most damaging to Nargacuga's Dignity for certain. Oh, you're talking about the orange-coloured Rising Soul. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, the orange-coloured Rising Soul, I knew about that. Yeah, Rising Soul was orange and black in the Japanese version. That's funny. You were talking about... you said literal lightsaber, and so I'm thinking of something pretty damn close to a lightsaber. Anyway. Yeah, I hadn't thought you were talking about Rising Soul. It turns out you were right about the name, though. I do agree that the coloration in that game was better. I don't know why they would have recolored it. My guess is that they wanted something that was unique to the Western, or I guess the international release. But they were too lazy to actually make something different. That's why they would have done it. I'm sure the original plan was to make a different weapon. But they ran out of time. I'm guessing the stats between the two of them are the same. One would fucking hope. Of course, in the Japanese version you had Tessaiga instead of Tenebra. And I actually think Tenebra was cooler. Depends if you're an obsessive Inuyasha fan. But, although I do also like Tessaiga, because it was quite small when you sheathed it, and then you'd unsheath it and it was much wider and curved, which was kind of cool. But, yeah, Tenebra was a very cool looking longsword. Fortunately, if you play Portable Third, you can experience most of the event weapons. Some of them you can't. Some of them aren't in there. There's at least one or two that aren't in there. Okay, it is Great Thunderbug killing time. Uh-oh. I hope no one ends via subquest. I'd like to actually complete this quest, silly as it sounds. Where are the Great Thunderbugs? They must be around. If you have to kill 30 of them, they should be everywhere. 6 have been killed so far. I don't even think I've seen one. Yeah, true cutter sword. It's very cool looking. It's a lot sleeker than Lion's Bane. Lion's Bane looked very bulky. And I didn't really like the coloration of it either. But yeah, most of my, well, not most of, but some of my Portable Third recordings feature the true cutter sword. It's not a very good great sword. If you'll remember the stats of the Lion's Bane, the true cutter sword had the same sort of stats. It's just that the true cutter sword made you feel better when you had shittier stats. But obviously, a sword with stats like those in a game that had the Anguish greatsword and the Elatrion Revolution, quite frankly, was quite sad. It was not a good comparison. It was a rather embarrassing comparison. You sure it wasn't someone who had cheated to get the Japanese version? Because it shouldn't have been possible for someone to, you know, have a Japanese save and then play the English version, but anyway. Or the US version. Oh no, it was possible to change servers, I remember that. Yeah, sorry. Forgot about that. Yeah, I remember people changing from the European servers to the US servers and vice versa. So people must have done that with the Japanese version too. I don't remember seeing that happen in the European version. I don't remember seeing any Japanese people. That would have stuck out to me. We are at 18 Great Thunderbugs killed. But yeah, changing the region or porting your save over to a different region was not an easy process. You had to really want to do it, I seem to remember. Yeah, it's riveting gameplay, alright. Or at least it was until... I had to do this. What gun does this person have? Oh, it's the fucking... it's that thing. Remember when the I remember when that was the Aquamatic or something like that? Well, I don't think that was the Aquamatic. There was still Demon's Island and God's Island and all of that in Tri. I just remember the Aquamatic guns, and of course you had the Aquamatic long shot, which was actually just the fucking Rathian heavy bowgun. I've told this story before, but back in the days of Elatrion cluster runs, when you used to have a very specific loadout for, you know, Elatrion cluster shot runs, I've still got the very specific loadout, like the loadout, on my second try save, which is intact. It's not lost like my original. And that save reminds me that it was Rattling Gun frame, Rattling Gun stock, Rattling Gun barrel, and then Agnaktor stock. And I had the bright idea back then to try using the Aquamatic Longshot because it rapid-fired cluster level 1. Well, quite unfortunately, that was not a bright idea because rapid-firing cluster shot level 1, in terms of DPS and also damage dealt, was far worse than shooting cluster shot level 2 at the speed I was shooting it with that gun, so... yeah. I don't think it was shooting cluster level 3. Could have been, but I think it was cluster level 2 that it was designed to shoot quickly and with very minimal recoil. But it was fun to bring along. Because it had an interesting look to it. That bowgun looked quite different to almost every other bowgun. And as I seem to recall, it was the only bowgun that was a complete gun, where, or at least in terms of a heavy bowgun, you couldn't actually disassemble it into 3 separate parts. It was literally just one part. And that was quite interesting. That was a novelty in that game, to have a gun that you would equip as a single thing. Usually you'd have to select 3 individual parts. It was an interesting gun. I'm looking forward to re-experiencing Tri. It's just interesting to me that the landscape of the player base has changed so much in 10 years because, quite frankly, Tri was the world of the early 2010s. In the sense that, at that point, the vast majority of Monster Hunter players were from Monster Hunter Tri. But now, not that many people have played Tri. In the grand scheme of things. More than you would expect, to be honest. There's a lot of people who played Tri but then never continue, and then didn't start playing again until World came out. That's actually quite common. Why that is, I don't know, because to me, the first game you played should have fucking hooked you. You should have been hooked, and then played every fucking game you could get your hands on. That's what I did. And, yeah, but for some reason a lot of people actually played Tri, and then never played again, until 5th gen. Which is acceptable, I guess. At least those people started out elsewhere. Didn't start out with the most watered down expression of the formula. Alright, well that's that quest completed. I just achieved something, everyone. What's the next fucking quest? Hopefully something more entertaining. Even if it's a quest that I haven't done and it's one of those shitty slay small monster quests. Slay small monsters quest. I'm not going to do it because I need to do something a bit more entertaining than that crap. That bored me. So if it bored me, it must have bored you. This is not a very fun quest, but we'll do it. I always go ranged for this one. I'll bring Pierce Water Bow. Whatever that ends up being. I can't remember now. Fuck it. Nope, definitely not that. Third time lucky. Hello? Where's my water pierce bow? Oh, it's Droth Dimion. That's weird, but makes sense. Alright, let's get just the standard pierce loadout and I'll get Droth Dimion on the go. I just miss having the purple Ludroth bow in a portable third. And also 3 ultimate, because that thing was effective in its own right as a water bow, but also had increased effectiveness with poison coatings. I don't think I've got enough oh, actually, I probably have plenty of inventory space for different coatings, because that will go into my gunner pouch. Oh no, the sleeping guy has left. I would rather not 3-man. Oh, this guy has decided to stop using a cat. And his... this is what we end up with. Hunter rank 275. Literally full Dread King. Fuck me. I suppose it's not too bad. How long have I been live for? An hour and 48? I'd prefer to wait because this guy's Hunter rank 12 and I don't think he's got a very impressive loadout, so... Well, actually, good on him for getting full Hermitaur GX at HR 12. Some people go for more basic shit than that. Ugh. Did he forget that it was his quest? I don't know. Factina just reacted with an ellipsis, which is, you know, fair. I think he'll be back pretty soon, because, yeah, I don't think he intended to do that. What the fuck? It's going to be really funny if he doesn't come back. If he doesn't come back, it means that it was entirely intentional. And he just got impatient. He was so impatient with me that he decided, you know what, I'm just going to one-man this quest. that's got 2 G rank monsters, and I'm using whatever that greatsword's called. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the monsters here? Glavinus and Gravios, and he's using that greatsword. He just departed on his own. I genuinely thought it was a mistake, but if it were a mistake, he would have come back by now. Do you understand what I mean when I say that you cannot give these people the benefit of the doubt? You can't look at a situation and go, oh well, quite obviously that wasn't intentional, or quite obviously they didn't mean... You know, you look at it logically and you go, that's not, that it couldn't be that. Logic would dictate that it's something else, but you can't assume that in this community. These people are, to be honest, without equivocation, complete fucking human trash. That's what they are. And, yeah, it's just, you're watching it right now. He can go and solo it. All he had to wait for was for this Puntor guy to turn up. You know, I don't want to help this Puntor guy either. Because, I don't know if you saw him, but he immediately put his quest on the board. He didn't even wait to figure out what was happening in the room. Kulija's been kicked. I don't know, I suppose Faktanar at this point is picking his poison. Ugh. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna join a different room. Sorry. I cannot, in good conscience, assist a person who tries to get help by posting their quest on the board as quickly as they possibly can without assessing the situation in the room and then begging. That sort of behavior is... it's base and it's juvenile. And I don't seek to reward it by departing on their quest. A turn's room with Goldwyn. Yeah, he's golden, alright, look at him. What was that? What's that sword and shield? Illustrious Falchion. I've never seen that before. It uses an event item called Sealing Shield. Interestingly, it's a dragon weapon. I don't know. That's weird. Nightcloak G4. Single Faint Nightcloak. Okay. I can do that. This will be our last time, I think. Yeah, let's use dual blades. Good idea. Here we go again. What's the weakness of this monster? Is it water? Oh, sorry. I think it's fire, isn't it? Pretty sure it's fire. Nightcloak. Yeah, it's water, sorry. Knew it was either water or fire. It turns out that it's both, but water is better. Fine. Dual blades. Do I have blunt water dual blades? I think I do. Yes, Plesioth. I think. Yes, Plesioth Parang. No, that doesn't look right. No. It's Spirit Twists, that's right. Plesioth Parangs are my non-bludgeoner water dual blades. But yeah, dual blades is just a fun choice with Nightcloak, or Malfestio in general. Because this monster is low to the ground, dual blades are low to the ground, and yeah. I find that dual blades are not as negatively affected by the confusion. Not in my experience. I forgot to eat for insurance. I hope someone else did. We'll probably be okay, but... Okay, what if I exit standby now? I already ate, didn't I? Yeah, I already ate, so that's my mistake. Did anyone else eat for insurance? Why does no one eat for insurance for single feint quests? I'm the only one who's ever done it. Well, I think I've seen 1 or 2 people ever eat for insurance for a single feint quest. But generally speaking, it's just me. It's like I'm the only person who's considered it to be an option. Yes, this is the last time of the stream. Because that'll probably take me to 2 hours. Nightcloak, where does he start? Area 3. Alright. There's a shortcut, Jay. Yeah. It's good of you to be able to catch me when I'm streaming so infrequently, but I'm going to be streaming more often now because my throat is no longer totally fucked. My voice is not... I don't know if you can hear it, but my voice is not quite up to snuff yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Most importantly, I'm not coughing and spluttering and all that business. So, that's the most important thing, and yeah, I'm just going to be recording more frequently now. Probably not during the weekend, but I'll record something tomorrow. I don't know what it'll be. What should it be? Either Castlevania or Dark Souls, I'd say. Probably Dark Souls. I need to make up for that shitty last recording that I did. What are you doing? It'd be nice if you stayed in one place. Yes, I do remember that crossover. It's quite funny, you had Velociprey in the confrontation zone as well. That was Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, if I remember correctly. I never did play it. I always meant to. I don't know what that status effect is. I'm assuming it's something from the hunting horn. I, off the top of my head, do not know what it is. Oh, that's very good. I'll get Bloodwind going now. Oh. I'm moving away from the monster with Bloodwind so that I don't get hit by the monster. I need to play defensively. I'm not anticipating a feint on my part, but I obviously want to be careful, so that's not a risk. Oh. I think we're actually resistant to confusion thanks to this hunting horn guy. And if he chose this hunting horn because it's called Divine Protection, that seems to be what it is. Actually, no, Divine Protection I think is that star. That star. I can't actually see what effects are currently active, so that's a shame. But yeah, I think that purple armor is actually giving us resistance to abnormal status. And I believe that Confusion falls under abnormal status. It's just not something that we can use against monsters. That's for monsters to use against us. Specifically Malfestio. Uh-oh. Yeah, see? Now, I don't know if that's courtesy of Divine Protection or that purple armor thing. I'm assuming the star effect there is Divine Protection. That seems to correlate with that naming. So, although the word protection correlates with the armor, so who knows? I can't fucking see anything. I hate getting caught in that attack. There's, like, all of us are actually at risk of death right now. And this is a one feint, so... we have to be careful, I suppose, is what I'd say. I think he's flying away, yeah. To Area 4. Yep, immune to abnormal statuses. I was right. That was a wild guess. And I'm guessing Divine Protection is basically a Hunting Horn version of Divine Blessing. Just a guess. I'm not familiar with it. It may actually be unique to the Atal'Kar Hunting Horn. It's a very good choice of Hunting Horn, though, for this quest. Yeah, that's all it means. So status... the word status stopped being used in 4th gen, and I think the reason why... so, as an individual phrase. So, it became abnormal status... because the word status doesn't necessarily mean that it's a debuff, or something that's negatively affecting them. Whereas the term abnormal status comes with the connotation that it is a status ailment, right? So in RPGs and MMOs, status ailment is usually how you would refer to what in Monster Hunter is called abnormal status. Abnormal status is actually what it's called officially in Monster Hunter, and that's been since Monster Hunter 4, as far as I'm aware. So, it doesn't have a special meaning, it just means status. That's all it means. So, the way we have both literally and also colloquially used the word status, abnormal status just means that. As far as literally referring to it as such, I believe that the first 3 generations of Monster Hunter just was status, and that was it. For some reason, they felt that a further clarification was needed for accuracy in 4th gen, but I wouldn't say so. Ow. You can definitely tell this monster has some defense, though. Doesn't feel like we've dented him all that much. No, I'd reckon that would have hurt him. Oh, I just completely wasted my Bloodwind. Which is still Bloodwind 2 for some fucking reason. I do not have an explanation for why. I've only got Bloodwind 2. Come on. Didn't really give much warning for that now, did you? I may have to make the Adalkar hunting horn. It depends what divine protection is. Oh god, it's flying away again. I've got Wolf's Maw active, you know. Don't waste my time. I'm assuming he's going to 5. No, he's going to 1. Either 1 or 2. Well, that's not great. I'm not happy to see that at all. He is stopping in 1. Well, let me try and get as much damage out with Wolf's Maw as I can. You prick. Absolutely no hesitation. Oh. Yeah, well there you go. That's proof that it's not divine protection that's preventing it. Oh god, I need to be careful. Imagine if we failed after all this. Oh, he's exhausted. God, I don't think I've ever seen an exhausted Malfestio. Genuinely, I don't think I've ever seen it. Oh, fuck off. He's headed for... Literally, he's headed for. Headed to 4. Headed for 4. However you want to say it. It always looks like the monster's almost dead when he's exhausted, but it doesn't always mean that. It just means you've been fighting him for a while. Ugh. Oh, you're talking about Bloodwind 3. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Hunt, Sweat and Tears. Cephadrome, Arzuros, Eardrome, Lagombi, and Volvidon. Gross. That is not a pleasant lineup of monsters. I'm gonna see if I've got it. I don't think I do. I've done most of my villager requests. I'm assuming I can look through my villager requests and see that quest name. We do have a limping Malfestio, which is encouraging. And I believe Malfestio Goldfeather is specific to Nightcloak. How the description Nightcloak can actually work with a golden monster. Don't know. I think the idea is that he turns himself invisible, so, I don't know, he's secreting himself in some way or another. So therefore, the night, because he's hidden, like the night, darkness. It's so abstract. Anyway. Where the fuck? Oh my god. He's in Area 3. After all that shit, he's in Area 3. I thought I saw him flying to 5. Otherwise I wouldn't have come this way. Whatever. Yeah, now Goldwyn's just totally confused. Well, really, it was more simple than that. He just went to 3. God. I missed your cute little run animation, Malfestio. I almost feel sorry for you, but I really don't. Goldwyn is placing a trap, which is fine. I don't mind assisting with the capture if that's what you're aiming for. He doesn't want to take a chance. I get it. You could have just, I don't know, eaten for insurance. Just do that next time. You have a guaranteed chance of getting insurance, by the way. I don't want to hear any person tell me, maybe he didn't have insurance. He had it. It was his choice to not eat for it, okay? As for me, I forgot. It wasn't my quest, you know? It's not my responsibility to fucking eat for insurance for this guy. But after I'd eaten, pretty much immediately after, I thought about it and went, well, hold on, did anyone eat for it? And then I realised that no one had. Oh well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this live stream. I hope you all enjoy it. I will see you next time I'm recording Monster Hunter, or whatever else you'd like to watch of me and my recordings, and yeah, I'll try to record more frequently going forward. That shouldn't be an issue anymore because I can now speak without having issues. I will see you all next time, and I bid you all farewell. Bye-bye.